Anna had just fallen asleep in the big bed. When she woke up, she froze at the view outside. The whole neighborhood had turned into a sea. Seeing water seeping into the house, she quickly packed her things and got ready to leave with her child. But when she rushed out the door, the corridor was already full of water. Everyone was fleeing upward, floor by floor, to survive. Anna could only put her child on her back and start climbing. At that point, the stairs were jammed and the water was everywhere. Nothing moved for half a day. There seemed to be no way out. Anna even had to take along a shadowy, autistic father figure and escape to a different stairwell in the building. When she stepped out of that stairwell, she saw a neighbor who had been stuck in the corridor fall into the water and scream for help. There was no time to think. Anna panicked and climbed to higher floors, but those places were already full. The other residents didn't seem to realize the danger. They were calmly telling people to hide in their own homes. Then Anna heard a familiar voice and they greeted each other, and in the blink of an eye her son vanished. Terrified, Anna forced her way into a house to search, but after a long time she couldn't find him. She nearly lost her life because a huge flood then rushed into the building and filled the rooms. Luckily, Anna had learned to swim. She held her breath and dove, searching for her child in the water. She finally found him in a room, but no matter what they tried, the door wouldn't open. Then, unexpectedly, a man outside pushed the door open and pulled the mother and child out of the water. Even more shocking, after the unconscious child was given CPR and care, he woke up safely and whispered, "Mom." The man was a staff member from the Institute for Advanced Study, and since Anna was an important PhD at the institute, he had to get her safely up to the roof. The company was sending a helicopter to pick them up. But as the three of them headed for the roof, the child suddenly needed to poop. There was no choice. Anna had to find a toilet for him. They found an empty house, but it wasn't safe. Stress had the pipes rattling like they might explode any second. When they smelled gas and fire, Anna grabbed her child and hurried out, and just as they stepped out the front door, there was an explosion in the house ahead. They turned back, but the back route wasn't safe either. The three of them were stuck in a terrible dilemma, like they were waiting to die. The man decided to climb up to escape, but Anna's son was small and wouldn't cooperate. He clung to his mother and refused to let go. In the panic, Anna fell headfirst into the water. She was lucky to find a plastic plate to help her float. Since her son was up on the 10th floor, Anna had to climb the stairs to reach him. Then she heard a girl's cry for help from the elevator. Anna couldn't ignore it, so she went up to find tools and then rushed back to the stairwell to save the girl. The water level was higher now, and worse, the power went out. The girl's cry on the stairs stopped. Realizing the girl might have suffered something terrible, Anna had to go back upstairs to find her son. Unexpectedly, something happened to her son's body. To keep him alive, Anna dashed into a house and mixed sugar water for him to drink, which made him feel better. But another wave rose. A wall of water was headed straight for their building. They ran for the stairs and tried to get as high as they could. That's how they reached the roof without getting swept away. But when the roof door opened, the rescuers acted strangely. They shaved the boy's head. The plan was to force the sale of Anna's child. It turned out her son wasn't really hers. He was a new human developed by the research team. The institute had already been recycling children like him. Anna, a doctor, had always fought this, but with the disaster she couldn't protect him anymore. As the rocket slowly launched, human civilization came to an end. To keep the species going, 7 rockets were sent to space. They planned to use existing tech to build a new mother and child pair and continue humanity. With the child's model done, the next step was to make the mother's model in a virtual world. When Anna opened her eyes again, her earlier memories were gone. She woke in her big bed at home, back to the day before the giant red event. There was still seawater under the bed. Before she could react, the institute called. The red had flooded the community's 3rd floor and they told Anna to leave the house with the kids. Anna grabbed her child and ran to survive, but the corridor water was already up to her knees and crowded with neighbors. Everyone was pushing frantically to higher floors. Then a huge red wave hit the building again and Anna's floor was submerged instantly. Fortunately, Anna knew how to swim. She surfaced with her son and crawled out of the water. But then her son suddenly disappeared. Anna saw it and ran to find him, but he had been swept away by the current. Terrified, Anna swam after him and a helicopter hovered overhead. At the same time, old memories started to come back in pieces. She was deeply involved in AI, trying to build emotional responses into scenes. If she could save her son this time, she could overcome her limits and finish the emotional model. There was a number on her clothing, 787, meaning she'd repeated this 787 times. She still couldn't find her missing son, so she stopped listening to the men from the institute and jumped into the water to save him. As she tried to climb the stairs, she again heard the girl's cry for help from the elevator. Since she hadn't saved that girl before, she vowed to do it now. She used all her strength to pry the elevator door open and rescued the girl inside. This time the number on Anna changed to 4007, which meant she had died 4006 times before, often at the hands of robbers. This run gave her one more life. Without saying much, she asked the man across from her for help and managed to hold on until others arrived. After leaving the girl's house, Anna started the search again, the search for her missing son. She saw paintings all along the hallway and suddenly remembered something important. When the flood started, her son had told her to look at a painting on his tablet, but she always refused. Who thinks about flowers when there's a flood? You just try to get out. To check, she synced her phone to the tablet's photo album and saw a terrifying image. A painting her son had drawn before he was forcibly recycled. A mother and child saying goodbye, seen from the mother's view. Worse, her son had drawn that picture many times. It reminded her of the earlier flood, the picture of him hiding in a closet and refusing to leave. She ran to her room, but when she opened the closet, security from the Myopia Institute appeared. This time the number on her chest changed from 7,993 to 13,417, meaning she'd looped this love scene countless times. They never managed to find the missing son. She didn't know how many cycles had passed. The number later became 21,499. By then the floodwaters had swallowed the whole building. To survive, Anna had to climb to the roof. She didn't expect to find a closet up there, but she did, and this time her son really was hiding inside. Then her son died from an asthma attack. He'd hidden in the closet to say goodbye to his mother. She placed him inside and waited until the door opened to wake him. Anna had no choice but to start the cycle again. After a lot of effort, she finally found her son in the closet. But security was right behind her. Worse still, a huge flood came in to cut off her son's escape route. Anna had to let her son dive away alone while she held the line from behind. Unexpectedly, Anna's action caused the server in the virtual world to crash. All the data stopped, everything froze, and fragments of her son's memories surfaced in Anna's mind. In the end, only Anna's data was restored to normal. As she dove headfirst to grab her son, the giant red fully drowned them both. Anna and her son completed the emotional training in that one-night scene and completed the building of their physical bodies in the lab. A video shows it. One more serious problem remained. That's how Anna was supposed to take her son back to Earth and help continue human civilization. Then the video ends.